RunAway be one step closer. Well, they're awake, and so am I now.
Look at the win rates here, but also the control amount. If you look at the Panthera losses, they were in high points, so usually going into overtime, whereas RunAway's games they won were usually very close, or sorry, not very close at all, having 2 sets, including their losses. So RunAway being more dominant on the map in general, if you get points captured. They will be running this Junkrat, but it is going to be protect the McCree. Let's call that the lone cowboy strat. He's the one doing the most of the damage. He's not alone in terms of DPS, but he's alone in terms of bursting the tanks when the dive comes through. And Stitch, very good at this, showing another layer to the depth of his play this season.
Dive coming through here as they operate around the left-hand side of the map. KongDoo Panthera looking to wrap around the back. The K's still up front, waiting patiently to go for a flank position. Now going to be diving in. Bumper taking quite a bit of damage here, but Pocket coming through some slime. Twilight as well with the orbs on him. Will help keep him sustained. Shubo goes in, gets a nice little boot, but it's going to be Roar going down first, but one tick has come through for the side of KongDoo Panthera, and now Bumper also going to be traded out, so no instance on either side.
Yeah, there's just not
satchel charge coming through. 2 ticks. RunAway just kind of giving this one away.
No protection really for Stitch, but the tanks do respawn. Huxall is uncontested right now.
Yeah, needs to get into a position to use that Riptire. He's going to go low. Manages to get back in. Pops it in from around the side. Huxall dying,
but using the tire still.
Pick. Looking for the Moira. She disappears. She comes back in, finds the pick, but it's just going to be the one. Self-destruct gets rid of Stitch, and maybe KongDoo just go ahead and cap this one straight up. RunAway just not prepared.
They did not have the setup to deal with the dive that came in so quickly. They were playing a little bit greedy and a little bit forward, so they didn't have a position to where Stitch could do maximum damage. He's already made the switch to the Tracer here. And now with a large ult advantage in terms of charge, KongDoo Panthera could come in here and get a quick cap. They're going to have the lead in terms of the EMP race, with Huxall only just now making that switch. Taking control of the high ground right now is RunAway, but they're taking a low ground approach here. Panthera is.
Yeah, sound barriers coming out. They want to go ahead and just try to snowball this one as quickly as they can. Janu, that's self-destruct, not going to find a pick off. As Ding tries to build up for that EMP. He's going to go low. Roar as well, dipping with his HP bar. Ding taken out by Bumper, stomping in. Like
just waiting here for Decay to pop back out. They do retreat, only gaining 60% ult charge on the EMP. Huxall has been able to build these so much better tonight. Obviously, defender's advantage, but he actually leads despite having the later switch to the Sombra, 69 to 64 right now. So Huxall going to feel fantastic about how much charge he was able to build on that defense. They didn't give away a single tick, and the ult advantage that Panthera had is no more. They would do well, I think, to consider a switch away from the Sombra, because on point B, you can't use the Sombra as an attacking force as easily because there's so much room to spread against it. Look at how RunAway is set up right now. They know Ding might have it, so they're just spreading to make sure that does not gain value.
Pulse bomb in on the Bumper. He's going to go low, but the nano boost is thrown in onto him to help mitigate that damage. Pulse into the back. Stitch not going to find a stick, not going to find a kill. And Roar's got that primal reach ready to go. Nano now expiring. Bumper's in on the backside, forces out that self-destruct, but has to get out of there. Manages to dodge around the corner, but Shubo will be allowed to remech in the meantime.
Yeah. Okay, this push starting to get a little bit more value. EMP coming out from Ding, but does not hit Twilight.
Yeah, tosses it in, but doesn't really find much. Stitch going to be taken down, though, and Bumper will be a follow-up kill. Decent grabs here, but now Huxall throws down his, and instantly the tanks are just going to collapse. Drops up to the high ground, looking for Ding.
Sombra fight.
Stuck up there for the moment. Self-destruct out from Janu to get back into the mech. Will be able to do so. And Huxall kind of botching that jump. Not going to be able to find the hit. Now,
they want to commit
from Luffy. KongDoo Panthera do not want to back off this one, but they're going to lose the mech there onto Shubo, I do believe.
Yes.
Sound barrier comes in.
Both support ultimates used here. They need to get a tick out of this, so this is very wasteful.
Helping to keep them alive, and he's getting dangerously close to another EMP, but with the members going down, Decay and Coma. Now Luffy following suit. They're going to have to hold on to this one as Stitch is going to get get boosted just to get those last few shots in onto Roar. So a bit of an itchy trigger finger, it would seem, there for Slime.
Well, you know, this is a horrible situation for Panthera, and I think it's showing a glaring weakness on this squad, is Decay's unwillingness to switch to long-range hit scan. They want to run this Sombra Tracer no matter what, whereas RunAway has shown so many different styles already. The Lone Cowboy we were talking about earlier, Reaper, we've seen the Stitch swap to Widowmaker. KongDoo Panthera just does not have the depth in terms of heroes that RunAway has, and it's costing them big here on this point B. They have an ult lead, obviously, because RunAway tossed everything out, including that nano, but they need to make this valuable, this EMP that they have. We've got one window where the enemies do not have it.
EMP's down now here, but
Twilight again
that's going to be
avoids.
Slime going down, but yet Twilight does not get caught by that one. Throws in the Transcendence, trying to keep everybody alive. Janu knocked out of the mech. He's going to be spamming away with the pistol, trying to make his way back in. Stitch looking for the stick, manages to find it, but can't knock Shubil out of that one. He'll get taken down. Hawksall, Twilight, both going to be dead. Bumper trying to stay alive here with the help of Janu. Trying to mitigate as much as he can, but the Coalescence will come down. He'll get ripped out of that one, and he'll get punished. Now ticking up on the point. This is going to be RunAway. Don't see any Maze swaps coming in yet, but Bumper's going to die.
They need to buy time for Hawksall to get an EMP off here. He does get in position. Look at KongDoo Panthera trying to use these structures to avoid it. He waits. He wants a better one.
He trades off here with Stitch, but he's going to get taken down. The right click from Coma does rip him apart. Roar into the back, has the Primal Rage. Bumper going to fall. EMP out from Hawksall. Doesn't really find that many numbers, and there's going to be no follow-up kills. KongDoo Panthera now feeling quite comfortable in onto the point. Managed to find Hawksall, force him back with that translocator yet again. He's still sitting in the respawn room. Bumper trying to work his way out. There's going to be body blocked here on the corner. Now has that Primal Rage ready to go, but Twilight swaps to the May and he gets taken out.
Hey, we're seeing this sound barrier come in as well. KongDoo Panthera has control. They need to maintain it, and I think they will. This should be the final capture here.
Yeah, just need a couple more pickoffs to make this one work, but with Slime going down, the EMP out, there's no way for them to dodge. Johnny's going to get ripped apart, and that should just about be it. The May tries to tag in, but cannot do so. 2 minutes even on the clock here. KongDoo Panthera looking comfortable on Hanamura.
Luffy's Moira has really hit the mark tonight. He is the veteran on this squad. Of these 6 players, he was the player who went the furthest, getting to that finals in Season 3 of Apex. Back then he was flexing to the Soldier. We were seeing a lot of triple DPS. It was a different time, a different meta. This is not that same Panthera. This is a Panthera that comes in as 4th seed from the group. But Luffy's been able to make the tank play of Roar so much more effective. Body blocking there on that attack, keeping everyone gate kept out, wouldn't have worked without Luffy being in perfect position to build even another Coalescence while he was pushing through. And I just want to give a big props to this player who was lackluster at the beginning of the season, that had not gelled with the new roster, but now he and Roar are working well together. And I think Changshik being benched for the majority of this season is because Roar works better with Luffy on the Winston. Even though Changshik proved himself a few times to be the stronger Winston, which is contrary to what he was in Apex, I think Luffy and Roar have a better synergy together. They work together to make sure the tank line is busted, or that Roar can get in and kill the supports. Comes in with Roar to help burst those down. We are going to see a similar setup defensively here for KongDoo Panthera now, but it is going to be Decay on the Tracer. Again, showing his unwillingness to swap heroes. But Ding not running the Sombra, running Junkrat, which was very effective for them on Blizzard World's point A defense. And Stitch is showing us a Widowmaker attack potentially here. I think that there's a high chance he will at least roll with it for a little while and then make the switch.
Well, we've seen a couple of those be successful so far in this tournament, and even historically.
Yeah.
But we'll go ahead. He's going to stick with it for now.
If he can kill the Junkrat with a headshot boosted, this push is over. He doesn't have the Mercy, but if he gets a full headshot and gets that kill onto the Junkrat, they're going to get the cap immediately. That's the idea, at least.
Well, that's going to be Hawksall getting taken out. Actually, Luffy finding the kill. Rockets just spamming from Shubil.
There's that Junkrat headshot they were looking for.
That takes him out, but the rest is going to be available. Coma bringing him back in the fight. But RunAway still feeling welcome to push in for a moment, but we'll go ahead and kite back as a team.
Do you have to put the caveat on my statement about the headshot on Junkrat making this over? That, of course, they would have to do it with a full push, not with dead members, and also there was a res. But Stitch has full control over this right now, not being harassed until I cast or curse him.
Yep. Okay, going into the back, trying to finish him off, but Lucio's here. Still getting shot at from below. Stitch playing with fire a little bit. Nanamu's built up, going to be thrown in onto Roar to try to get that Primal Rage ready. And Bumper, whoa, he's flying at the screen.
Yep.
He'll get taken down. Hawksall forced back.
Whole year so far.
Looking great.
Yeah. I think the Stitch Widow is not being as effective. Even when he was given control there, KongDoo Panthera is just playing around this too well. Now, they have an EMP, but EMP isn't that great against a Junkrat setup, especially with how they're positioned right now. Who are you really trying to EMP? The supports? This isn't even a Lucio or a Zenyatta comp, and if you hack the Junkrat, he doesn't care.
Well, EMP's out here from Hawksall, looking for the bait, but the Riptire is going to be coming through. Finds two, Stitch and the Sombra both going down. Roar brought back in, the only pick that RunAway had found. And the Janu knocked out of the mech, Bumper off the side.
The problem with this too is, you know, you hack the tanks, that's your target. Those are the ones that are really going to take the biggest beating from the EMP because they can't remech, they can't primal, they don't have their mobility options anymore. But with a res available, Koma just basically trades this a 1-for-1 ult, uses Valkyrie to hold the push. They get that res onto Roar. And no ult advantage for RunAway. They're going to make a late switch to the Genji, but this feels like their point A attack on Blizzard World is really, really stifled and shut down by Ding.
DK gonna get jumped on. Hawksall here over onto the famous Genji. Will be coming through, trying to shut this one down. So there's no more monkey business. Let's go ahead, make this happen. Takes out the Junkrat already. They try to open this one up. Bumper gonna go low, has that Primal Rage taken away. Self-destruct in from Shubel. Bubble comes down. Wonderfully played by him as Ding gets res. Now going to be a loss there onto the D.Va. Primal Rage answered by Roar. He goes low, down to half HP. Pulse Bump, however, from Decay. Finds Simon. Hawksall's dead. RunAway trying to get that single tick, but they just fall short of it.
Yep, does not happen. Ding is carrying this, man. Such great Junkrat play. And he has just controlled this choke and is really peeling well. Junkrat's so effective against dive because he has the ability to peel. He can put this trap here so anyone tries to get on top of him gets stuck. And he's just protecting the tank line of KongDoo Panthera. Nano can come here in a second. Roar doesn't even need Primal Rage to buy time. Look, this is what Lumpy's looking for. Here it comes.
Nano in onto Roar as he jumps over to the side.
Such a great way to be efficient.
Coming through, goes up onto the high ground. To get a bit of more,
and now
Riptire percentage here, but they're all shifting around the backside of the point.
Yeah, Riptire because they're all in the same spot. Could be a good angle here.
Gonna be looking for it. Hawksall's dead. He just fell off, I believe. Now it comes in, but the tire will get taken down. Janu able to find the kill.
Probably a dash that did not get a reset that caused him to die. I have to guess, but efficiency is the name of the game here for Panthera. However, tanks coming in here to try to get these supports. Lumpy is down.
Yeah, but gets res right back in. Koma going low, but still able to just fly around up top with that Valkyrie. Hawksall finds one. Shubel gonna go down. KongDoo starting to bleed a couple members out, but Slime still not gonna be in the fight. And Decay manages to take down Stitch.
Lumpy knocked off here.
Gets the knockoff. They finally get the ticks rolling through, but remember, they have to go to the distance. They have to get this completion. They find the stick. Not gonna be getting the kill, and Janu manages to stay in the mech at the same time. Koma going low.
Buying a lot of time here is
Ding
Decay.
going low. Decay into the back, down to 14 HP. Will get booped to death by Janu. Seems like it will finally have the break. Finally can breathe, but they have 4 minutes on the clock try to best the time
and
bank
they also
established.
have nearly the big 6. They've got 5 ultimates here that are going to be available. If this fight goes on for a while, Twilight will instantly get the Coalescence, and then they can use this sound barrier to give Hawksall an amazing blade. KongDoo Panthera need to somehow buy time. Bumper's dead. That's a great start.
Yeah, that's a really good way to do it.
Blade
Another pop-up coming through. Hawksall, Airblade coming in, uncharacteristic. Cracking under the pressure, perhaps.
I can't blame Hawksall for pulling that blade. It was going to be such an amazing push with 2 support ultimates to protect him. But because Bumper died instantly, it was all for naught. And Ding is going to stick with the Junkrat. We never see point B Junkrat. I think this is the first time we've seen it all tournament. Hawksall making a switch to Sombra. Again, very difficult to pull off on point B. Gonna grab this hack on this health pack, which makes the left side approaches for RunAway with their mobility heroes a lot easier. The tanks, and obviously Lucio and some Warrior can also come over here.
Tire coming in, not gonna find the pick yet again. Falling shy on that one. Roar getting zapped. Coalescence comes down, will kite around the corner. Now has that Nana boost as he zaps them all down, but the sound barrier comes in from RunAway. Pushing it onto the point, looking for the fight. Koma gonna fall. Lumpy going low, manages to get sits there with a bio grenade, but falls to the self-destruct. Shubel answers with his own, not going to be finding any kills with that, but makes it back in the back. And KongDoo Panthera holding strong as Decay is having the time of his life here with this Tracer.
Bumper taken out here. trying to build that primal. He will have it in just a moment, but Haksal is not so lucky. Only building 56 with this one. Died a lot earlier than he was hoping to, but he has been pretty efficient with building these. Twilight's going to make the switch over to this Zenyatta because they're having trouble dealing with the tanks, especially with biotic grenades against them. So they're going to have this Discord that can make it much easier to kill the targets, the supports in the backline, and Haksal is going to build more of his ult charge with the Discord orbs and trying to kind of farm it on the tanks. KongDoo Panthera, though, they have Coma in good position. If he just hides in the spawn, it's very difficult to use that EMP. Good bio grenade again here, and the tank war is lost already for RunAway.
That catches both of them, but Ding gonna get jumped on. Bumper finds him in the backside with a primal rage, takes him out. There's not gonna be a res available. Obviously, faster run back here. Bumper tries to gate the rest of the team out of this. But in onto the point, one tick coming through, halfway to the next one. Roar goes down.
Transit's used before the EMP.
Trying to find the hack, they pop. Shoebill out of the mech, up onto the high ground, where the pulse bomb comes in from Decay, finds the pick there onto Bumper. Now the EMP in. Riptire comes through. Haksal goes down. RunAway still trying to stick in this one.
Ding
so
gets the
very
kill.
close, but they need to get this completion. But Ding gets rid of Twilight, drops it onto the low ground, finds Stitch as well. And RunAway just might not be able to do it here on Hanamura.
Ding just killing it with this jump round.
off.
He is popping off. He is absolutely dominating here. So he's going to switch to the Sombra. No, but it's going to be a little bit easier to buy time against RunAway's Hail Mary push they have coming. They have no EMP. The tank ultimates are the things they're worried about most. They're going to have the ability to use Roar with this Nano very early. Then he has to, by that time, he should build a Primal Rage. But the key is just keep hacking the tanks here for Ding so they can't actually use their ultimates to flip this final
Roar
tank.
is going to get ripped apart, though. Decent start, but RunAway might just be looking at another OT completion. Self-destruct out from Shoebill. He's going to get punished. Cannot get back into the mech, but Decay's got another pulse bomb. We'll see if he can find a crucial target. Then a boost goes in. They start ticking up. Sound barriers down. Roar trying to get back in onto the point.
He does get on it, but Stitch has high ground
As the
control.
Primal Rage ready to go, the Discord Orb comes in. He's going to be looking for Twilight. Can't get him. Jumps back in. Bio Grenade. Keeping him alive and in the fight. Stitch pushing off the biotic field, looking for that tack visor. Desperately going to need it.
He's about to have it.
Up into the air. John looking for some picks. Can't find it. Stitch has been eliminated. There's no way to bring him back in. Bumper goes down. EMP out from Ding. He'll get punished right off the bat, but Johnu's going to be dead. It's just Twilight, Slime, and Haksal.
That's it.
Now they're one man down. KongDoo Panthera, they take Hanamura. They take a lead in this series, and now they are one map win away from closing this series out and moving into the semifinals, completing another massive upset on the day.
Their understanding of how to deal with that final Hail Mary push was amazing. Ding switching over to the Sombra, being able to hack the tanks and burst them there with the extra damage coming through from Discord was very intelligent. Let's not forget as well, on top of that, they identified early on Stitch was the problem. So he was harassed by the Primal Raging Roar, who came up there, came down, and came back up again. And despite the fact that he was discorded and that Stitch had that biotic field, once the biotic field was gone, Shibble ran up to him like a magnet. They knew that if attack visor was allowed to go off there with no diva, that was going to be the full capture for RunAway with only one tick left. So they came up and killed him, even using the self-destruct just to make sure they could get up there and get an angle to kill him. Very well done by KongDoo Panthera here on the defense, and Luffy has just looked so solid right now on the Moira, on the Ana. His Violet Grenades hitting the mark, shutting down so many of those pushes. RunAway just struggling so much there to get those tanks there without being able to be healed because they were constantly being bioed. Ding's Junkrat. I mean, come on, this guy is out of control tonight.
Nuts. It's, oh man, this is just inch by inch, tooth and nail, these guys fighting back and forth, trying to take the lead. KongDoo Panthera for the moment, gonna have it, and now just need one more win. But again, RunAway on Escort, undefeated. They've been very dominant. Where do we expect to go?
Well, they took us to Hanamura. They had a decent Junkrat defense themselves, but their opponents was stronger. I'm trying to think about where RunAway would want to go for Escort, because let's think about some things. Obviously, Escort is normally the Widow map, so okay, we're gonna do Reaper. I'll talk about Escort map in a second, because I want you guys to have fun with this, like we always do.
We'll see what he's gonna do. He's thinking about it. Okay. It's gonna be the Death Blossom. I think the Tracer before might have been a bit better.
It's all right. Still got that L Mystic sign up, keeping himself cheery after the loss.
Oh, he got headshot.
He's like, oh yeah, I was teleporting.
I was teleporting. Oh,
I actually like that.
The Widowmaker was ready to go.
He's basically solely saying, please buff Reaper. He's like, no, I can't. I wouldn't.
Absolutely not.
I couldn't possibly. No way, absolutely not. Oh. That's when Reaper said, no, I will not go to Hanamura. I'm not accepting the mission. He said no, he shook his head. This is when Reaper was really hot and needed to use a portable fan. And this is when Reaper does his emote after throwing his shotguns on the ground. There you have it. That was an all right little emote there. He gives himself a little clap, well deserved. Oh, she's into it.
Oh, dude, she just pulled out the shotguns, popped off, and then got real embarrassed.
She was like, da, da, and then blew it up by a self-destruct.
Well, nicely done.
Yeah.
We'll see who walks away with the victory on that one.
Says
at the end of the broadcast.
Says, Johnny, you gotta win. I said that.
I mean, they do. They do have to win.
Yeah.
They need to close out the next 2 maps. Otherwise, KongDoo. They might take it.
A lot of fans here, obviously, in the crowd favoring RunAway. I'd say probably like an 80-20 split, if I had to guess.
That's usually about how it goes, yeah.
And they're down in the series. They're 1 map away from losing it. And I think that the one thing that has been lacking on the side of Panthera is the Widow play. They're not running Widow. Decay's sticking almost purely on the Tracer. So if you go to Junkertown, you've got Haksal. Okay, here we go. You've got Haksal Genji. So he's going to be able to dive. And they've got Stitch, who's improved his Widow. And against it, sure, it's a great Junkrat player that they've got on KongDoo Panthera, Ding, who's been winning these defenses with fantastic accuracy, really good satchel charges, and also the riptires that he's been so patient with. However, KongDoo Panthera, you know, can they deal with Haxal's Genji and Stitch's Widow at the same time? This is a very intelligent pick by RunAway. See if they can bring us to that 5th map.
They really need to. The fans here desperately wanting that as they just dominate the audience. But KongDoo Panthera, they are on the cusp, pushing forward, trying to redeem the name of the squad, the organization rather, that made it to the Season 3 Apex Finals. They are so close to making it into the semis. That will be happening just tomorrow. RunAway need to bounce back. We already had a miracle reverse sweep. This wouldn't be a reverse sweep because they've already got the 1 win, but they need to win the next 2 straight. Still a very rough patch that they likely did not anticipate they would be in. See, how excited are the KongDoo fans now? I'd say quite a bit.
All right. Well, Decay makes the switch to Widow. He has to. He has to play the Widow here. He's been so unwilling to run it thus far in this series that leads me to believe that he's not well practiced on it at the moment. He's been so focused on his Tracer. Ding's on the Junkrat. It is going to be that Haksal Genji to try to break through and dive Decay. He's already got some successful shots through here. Let's see how Haksal fares now on this map. It's been a while since we've seen him here. Junkertown. Okay. Great map for Genji. A must pick.
Dropping down to the low ground here, looking for a shot. He's going to be finding a couple hits there onto the tankier members of RunAway. Shifts around, looking for that flank angle, spots out Haksal. Immediately starts moving over to hound down that Widowmaker. Keeps himself safe for now, just kiting further and further back. In the meantime, Stitch trying to get the hits in onto Lumpy, takes him low.
Lumpy's so well tonight. He's playing out of his mind.
That's Haksal going down. Ding finding the hit with a satchel charge. Decay on the flank, comes up with a headshot there on the Stitch. Tries to get himself out of there as he dukes it out here with Twilight. A couple hits on either side to take him down. Twilight manages to find it right after knocking Shubil out of the mech.
Well, that was such a cool flank, though, up until that moment for Decay, doing so much. Ding, caught by Haksal here, will escape, just barely saved by Koma, the former RunAway player. Now we see big knock from Bumper, but he's still holding strong on this point. And now Panthera has to make a tough decision. Do they really commit to the defense here?
Oh, Well, Hawksall, he's just going to be the recipient of everything that Ding has to throw at him, it would seem. Another Riptire going through.
Not going to be a big waste here, actually. Very valuable that they grab this pick on the Hawksall, but he does still hold that Dragon Blade. He's rezzed in back, so he's up close and personal, and here he comes with the Transcendence is there to mitigate the damage coming through, so Luffy gonna rescue his squad, grapple to the side. Hawksall, the plane is gonna expire. Stitch takes down Luffy in the meantime. As Hawksall desperately tries to get rid of the K, will be able to do so with the help of Stitch, who also finds Coma. Stitch popping off now with the Widowmaker. Holt to the side, he picks up that kill. Hawksall just trying to get some scraps here, trying to build up for another Dragon Blade. Will still make it to about 60%, but good lord, that was the Stitch show. And I think that this is the, the reason why this map is picked for RunAway is they know they have the better Widow. They know they have the only Genji. By the way, Panthera does not have a Genji player. They have the only Genji. So play to your strengths, play to what you're famous for on the Genji, on the dive. Stitch has improved his Widow in this meta phenomenally. Now they have total control. Panthera gives this up because they want to have line of sight advantage. This is what top teams do. They do not contest facility on point A. They're going to have this Orisa set up here on the high ground. It's going to be very difficult for Stitch to control the Widow battle now as they approach. Even giving them some angles here, letting them push up until this corner. That's where they're going to make their stand with the Widow.
Tire also going to be available. Ooh, Ding getting shot there. Not enough to take him down. Almost breaks this open, but now the Tire's going to be coming in, goes straight into the back, manages to find Slime. Homa, however, taken out by that self-destruct, but with no tank, no mercy. RunAway going to have to regroup.
Decay controls line of sight now. Ding makes it difficult to dive, still having that extra peel from the Junkrat. RunAway just going to have to reset here. Hawksall holds onto this blade. Gonna try to flank through this room up here. Going super high up. Gonna try to drop back down. There he goes.
Oh, he's in onto the backside. Roar going low. Trying to finish him off. A couple more hits would do it, but the Transcendence is perfectly timed from Luffy.
And the blade.
Alive. The Dragon Blade is enough to shatter that mech. Coma going down. Hawksall looking for more. Doesn't want to overstep. Getting the close quarters there with the Junkrat. We'll go ahead and pinch in the end.
Yep, with the
deflection comes through, they finish him off and RunAway. Now going to get that cart moving, approaching point B, still with 2:45 on the clock.
KongDoo Panthera just really struggling here when the Dragon Blades come through. I think Ding needs to be closer to the support line and the Widow if they're going to keep running him. Well, actually, Decay switches. They need to keep the Junkrat closer when the Dragon Blades come out. That was so well timed right after the Transcendence here.
He gets the Halt right at the end. Stitch trying to watch his rear. Bubble comes in. Not going to be finding anything with that self-destruct. Now all hell just going to be breaking loose here onto the card as everybody from KongDoo Panthera just gets cut down immediately. Luffy trades one back there onto Stitch, but Hawksall, he's going to take him down.
Well, this is a great push for RunAway now. And because there's no Widow to worry about, Hawksall can freely harass, freely try to build for another Dragon Blade. They know that Decay's made the switch back to the Tracer. Doesn't want to overextend. In fact, the Zipper site will confirm no Widow switch had been made, so he's going to come in and look for the supports in the backline with Stitch, in fact.
Just gets a nice dash through there, hitting multiple members, building up. Ding's going to go down. Primal Rage out from Bumper, taking him out. It's still coming through. He's trying to take down Roar. They managed to get it. Bumper following up with the damage. Takes him down.
He's going to hold on to this Dragon Blade now because he knew that he got so much charge from that dash that he did after coming through harassing Luffy. And now that the rest of KongDoo Panthera has to regroup here, he's got full range to harass, which means Stitch can get up here and do some real damage. He's threatened a little bit by Luffy there, but just for a second. So let's line of sight advantage.
Does take down Twilight and Hawksall. Will die as well. Shugo going forward. Res is out in onto Twilight. Decay falls down to about 13 HP, gets the recall off, but only gains up to 21. The Twilight will be able to find the kill. The Roar invests the Primal Rage. They take down Slime and Twilight. RunAway will go ahead and gather their thoughts as they get ready to push forward yet again.
Yep. Very, very nice hold here for the first time for KongDoo Panthera. They have control for the first time since the start of the map. Ding wants to use this Riptire to delay Hawksall's blade. Does not actually drop it just yet. This would be when he might want to.
Transcendence is out. Twilight's going to go down, though, without using his own, so maybe Hawksall wanting to save this for one extra fight.
There it is.
And even if he didn't want to, he's going to have to because Ding takes him down with a Riptire in the end.
Ding doesn't let him use this blade, doesn't let him get into position to actually potentially flank. Oh, this is a nice back cap from Stitch.
Stitch, are you kidding me?
No one is nearby. No one is contesting. Do they even know? I don't think they know.
Not paying attention.
No one's knowing about this.
Oh my
Are
God,
you
they
kidding
finally
me?
notice him. Stitch brings it all the way right in front. Sound barrier even gonna come through. Stitch just got away with a robbery.
He totally did rob them. Huxall used the blade though, and they do not get completion yet. Decay drops a pulse, forcing out the Transcendence early from Twilight.
Yeah, so now they're just gonna be pushing through. Through this little underpass here. Jono tossing out the self-destruct, looking for a pick, not gonna find anything. Card inches forward just a little bit. It's Stitch, takes down Luffy, but Decay will trade one back there as Twilight falls. Huxall can't do anything versus that Primal Rage. Winston, he'll go down. RunAway get a bit closer, but still have not completed this with just a minute left.
Okay, RunAway starting to feel the pressure now. Huxall was able to build 85%, that's right, 85% on one push of a Dragon Blade, but there's no support ultimates to work with this, and I don't think there will be in the next 45 seconds unless they go for an overtime push. So he needs to make this blade hit the supports hard. Coming in with Bumper here, who's got Primal. That's how they can try to unlock this point by grabbing the supports in the back. Luffy protected here.
Yeah, that's going to be the Transcendence out, but Huxall now with the Dragon Blade finds one. That's going to be Ding going down, looking for a little bit more. Transcendence going to be expiring, dashes through, and the dodge out onto the self-destruct from Shubil, who should be able to make it back into the mech. Roar, Luffy, both going to go down. Bumper traded back with that pulse bomb from Decay. RunAway still sticking forward, and they have to. This Riptire could make or break the push. Comes over the top, explodes, but doesn't find anything.
Huxall just desperately sticking to this payload like glue right now as he tries to build for another blade. It would be insane
out of the back. He's going to be over halfway there. Now it's going to be the sound barrier in, but Stitch and Jono both going to be going down as Jono's still stuck in this pilot form. Huxall needs this blade if he needs it right now. Right click's coming through there onto Roar. Help from the Coalescence takes him down. He goes into the back. Another Diva Bomb. This time finding Slime, but Twilight comes up with a double kill. No tanks available for
so close.
RunAway. Can they actually push this in?
He's so close.
Left to go. Huxall down the half. Self-destruct through. Jono not finding anything. As he keeps grinding this one out.
He wants the mega.
Back. Gets it. Blade's coming in. Huxall's in town, but can he shut it down? Swipes it. Swipes him through, but the Primal Rage helps keep Roar alive. Huxall not going to be getting anything. Gets spammed back up. Shubil knocked out. Primal Rage kills Stitch. Riptire knocking Jono out. RunAway trying to force their way in, but it just doesn't seem like they can. Luffy gonna go down, but everybody else on the side of KongDoo is still alive.
They're gonna stick to this point.
Desperately trying. Sound barrier in from Coma to shut it all out. RunAway gets so close, but they cannot get it in the end.
I just want to talk about for a second Huxall's playstyle. In the past, their best assault map was Anubis, and one of the reasons why was Huxall, before the Sombra meta, would operate around the Mega Health Pack towards point B with his Genji. So he didn't need to be pocketed by a Mercy because he would simply harass, dash in, then go back to the Mega, rinse and repeat. He did this so well, despite the fact that RunAway was losing the push. He was able to operate around that Mega Pack down there in the Trash Compactor so well and continually build Dragon Blades alone with no support, which meant that Slime and Twilight were able to care for the rest of the team more than Huxall, who's still able to build the blades. But on the same note, they're unable to finish this because the support ultimates coming out from Coma and Luffy were so well timed that Huxall could not get anything out of the Dragon Blades he was so rapidly building. And again, Ding's Junkrat is phenomenal, and he's able to buy time, shut down Huxall over and over and over again. When he knows the support ultimates are up, he just keeps targeting Huxall because if he gets the kill on him, it doesn't matter the support ultimate, they can't use the Dragon Blade there. We do have a complete flip now, though, and it's a long way to push for KongDoo Panthera in this map, but we have a situation now, because there was not completion for RunAway, where KongDoo Panthera they have a potential lethality in this series. They could actually take this win and go to semis now with this very attack. So RunAway fans probably clutching onto their blankets at home pretty tightly right now, maybe a little bit on the edge of their seat, because even though it was a great push, it could all end with a snowball coming out from Panthera.
Yep, if you are a RunAway fan, better offer them up your energy.
They're not going to be running the Genji because they do not have a Genji player. Remember, it's going to be the attack Junkrat Widow versus Huxall. He's going to have to flex. It's going to be very difficult to pull this off with attack Junkrat. Not the pirate ship, just straight up Junkrat Widow. You can see Deflect making quick work of that damage.
Yep, pushing that one straight back at them. Barrier's going to be collapsing. And already RunAway kiting back quite a bit. Gets set up elsewhere. Decay dashes to the side, keeps himself alive. Hunting for a shot, but so far hasn't really found much of anything. Concentration shot, knows where Stitch is going to be. Pops over the top, looking for the hit there. Twilight going to be brought back in by Slime.
Luffy doing tons of damage, breaking that barrier. 50% of a transcendence available here. It's going to be
Straight
tough.
Up there.
Tough for Huxall to really use these dashes right now because it's so risky with all the damage coming out from Luffy. You can see he just is shoved away by the Zenyatta, who is killing it tonight.
Oh man, Luffy is just not backing down. He just keeps left clicking his way through. Orbs of Harmony flying in. Great targeting from him. Nearly has that Transcendence ready to go. Huxall now, back and blade going to be set, but Zenyatta can go ahead and mitigate this one. That's going to be the blade coming in. Immediately pulls that one out. This Luffy keeps himself and the majority of his teammates alive. Shubil will just be
Luffy
a bit of an
totally
afterthought there,
this.
but Huxall just can't get anything done with these blades.
Yeah, Stitch doing a lot of damage though. Finds Sting here on the back, but cannot kill him. And they do shut this push down for now.
Yep.
Not with the Dragon Blade, but out of Stitch's accuracy here on the Widow. It's so difficult to use the Junkrat against a very experienced Widowmaker player like Stitch because every time you show your head to try to flank and do damage, you're exposing yourself to massive damage from Stitch. It could be an instant kill on a headshot. That's why we see Genji more often than the Junkrat here on attack. And Huxall, even though his blade didn't do anything, his composition with this team makes a lot more sense than the Junkrat one does here on attack.
Riptire coming in though, Ding. Trying to break open a hole here in this defense. Looking, he's trying to confuse him, and he pushes it through, and Pumper's still going to be staying alive here in the end. Supercharger coming down, Decay gonna die, Stitch finding that hit. They all take up into the air as Ding takes down that Supercharger. Res used onto Twilight to bring him back in. He's got that Transcendence ready to go. In the meantime,
Stitch is still just doing damage.
Ripping him apart. He's even got the pop on a Shubil smack at the end.
He's never threatened. I think Decay needs to be a little bit more aggressive here because Tracer's the only hero that can really threaten this. In fact, they're going to even switch Roar over to the Winston because they know that with no threats here onto the Widowmaker, he's just simply going to continue to kill people. As long as he can continue to be accurate, no one will threaten him. Now that they have the Sombra as well, there's a lot more dive here, but it's so difficult to break this with dive. That's why dive is not meta on Junkertown.
Yeah.
They need to get on the Stitch and avoid this payload in general. Kill Stitch, then collapse on it. I think that's their best shot. They're being halted hard right now.
Shot still coming through. Roar getting chunked out. Hear that blade coming in. Huxall in the back, takes down Shubil, looking for a little bit more. Transcendence yet again, there to match though. The timing of these blades has just been off, but still manages to get the D.Va at the end.
I mean, he does so much damage that this is unsuccessful.
Okay,
they finally get Stitched, but they lose everybody in the process.
Yeah,
Decay?
Huxall gonna get punished. No DPSs available, but Coma's gonna fall into support to the side of KongDoo Panthera.
You know what? They make the dive work.
Gets the position. He makes that, brings that Genji back up. Janu hacked out, can't use that.
Can't remake,
Self-destruct to get back into the match.
This is actually really well done. Despite the fact that it started off horribly, they do finally make the trade, and the payload is moving the whole time. But they have to continue this momentum. They only have 20 seconds left. One hold from RunAway is the end of this map. We go to game 5.
Twilight trying to get himself safe, gets in behind that barrier. Self-destruct now out for Janu. Doesn't find any picks, but Luffy's gonna go down. Stitch finds the shot yet again. Twilight traded out Slime. Can he get the res is gonna be the question. Hasn't gotten it yet. Twilight might just be being brought back in, but Stitch yet again finds another shot onto Roar, takes him down. Coma's gonna die. Down barrier, be damned. KongDoo Panthera getting full held on Junkertown. We're keeping it going. RunAway will not back down. They're gonna keep this series rolling all the way to the finish line.
Decay trying to do something with that pulse bomb, but it's just not gonna be enough. Killing that supercharger there. It was the most he was really able to get. We're going to game 5 again, back to back here. 10 games, RunAway will not back down. And the lack of flexibility compositionally from Panthera really shines through here. It may not matter though, going into control. It will be their map pick, of course, Nepal disabled, as we head into the 5th and final map to determine who is going to the semifinals. RunAway has been here before. They have won. Remember their series against Meta Athena back in Apex Season 2 when they were able to take the 7th game. of semifinals to go to that grand finals. This is, of course, just round of 8 here. It's quarterfinals. The same sort of tension holds true, but RunAway, they are not fazed by the fans screaming in the crowd. They have been in this situation so many times before in semis, playoffs, grand finals, and their ability to flex Haksal onto the Genji and run the attack Widow here with Stitch being so fantastic on the Widow versus a weak Widowmaker and only Junkrat, and then later some sloppy dive coming through a late switch. It was the right map choice, absolutely, for RunAway. They make it work. It was so intelligent. But where do we go for control is the question.
Absolutely wonderful. RunAway pulling off the full hold, even without the Junkrat on defense. I thought we were certainly going to see that one, but Haksal still pushing through with that Genji. The Blades, lackluster, haven't been nearly as impactful as one might hope, but KongDoo now have to make the decision. We're moving back over onto control.
Yeah.
What is the map going to be, and do we see any roster changes? I'm going to say probably no.
No, I don't think so. Even though Youngjin was really good at the McCree on control, I think that you just need to stick with Ding here. He's outperforming.
That's excellent.
Yeah, that is great. I really, really love our Jisoo drawings here. She's always appearing in some of these funny Photoshop. She pulled the knife out the other day for the Dragon Blade.
she's got a, well, to be fair, it's a replica Dragon Blade.
It's like, it says, did you come here to learn Genji? Oh, that's so great. Oh my God.
I could take some lessons. I'm a pretty bad Genji. It's like one of my few.
That is one of my weaker heroes,
one of my few heroes that I just don't mess with at all.
To go back to control talks, though, I think Oasis is the best map pick here for Panthera. We had them excel on Lijiang. There were something crazy like 6-0 on Lijiang coming into this tournament from online tournaments they were playing in, where they built their reputation for being the favorites to win Contenders. Even though they got 4th in the group, they're looking stronger and stronger by the week.
Yes.
So Panthera on Oasis can stick with their comps that are working well for them. Stick with the Sombra, put Ding on the Sombra, just run Sombra Tracer on every single map type. You can do that. You will run into Stitch's McCree, however. Yeah. And that could be a problem for putting all your eggs into the Tracer basket. But they were able to do well with it on Lijiang, on the Paul. So I think that when you consider the Paul pick and how well that worked against the McCree, I think that Oasis is where you want to go.
Well, as you were saying it comes up. Nicely done.
The other risks involved with Oasis are, you can deal with Haksal's Genji here. It is absolutely a hero pick that can come out on Oasis. It's not been common in Contenders in Korea all season long. But with how well Haksal has been playing and building these Dragon Blades, it is a factor to be concerned about. Going to be tough against Sombra, but I think this is just going to be flexibility from RunAway, potentially the McCree pick coming out, versus straight up, you know exactly what you're going to get with Panthera. You are going to get that Sombra Tracer. It is going to be what they run here. If they can handle the McCree and the slower compositions coming out from Stitch, they should be able to take the win here, but that's going to be the tipping point here as we head to this final map. The stage is set. We have a lot of sad RunAway fans if this does not go their way.
Oasis, the final setting. A best of 3 here to decide it all. RunAway or KongDoo, who will take this series? We know what the audience thinks.
Well, it is simply not going to be easy to take this one. No maps played for RunAway on this. My biggest memory of RunAway on Oasis is when they were shut down by Ryu Jae-hong in the Season 2 finals here, the opening map. Haven't seen a lot of Oasis for RunAway since then. Bumper building a lot of charge actually as they run the Reinhardt Reaper, which they have been running a lot of again versus no flexibility, just that straight up.
That's going to be the first hook in from Haksal. Sets up the pick there on Tacoma. A good start for RunAway. We'll see how long they can maintain it though. They are going to die. Stitch just ripping the tanks apart.
Have control. They're going to get the grab here on the D.Va, but this is what you want if you can actually control the point of University with this. It's so difficult to break. Luffy going to make the switch over to Zenyatta because they need more damage to break this comp. They cannot do it in terms of sustain against the Reaper here and Moira. And the Discord Orbs, hooked and killed. But the Discord Orbs will give Ding an opportunity to build faster EMPs. Mobility is the advantage that KongDoo Panthera has here. RunAway is entrenched. They are in the trenches. They are going to be looking for a full hold here. Losing the point even one time might mean they want to switch composition.
Yeah, we'll have to see for now. Poking in on the backside there is Decay. Bumper up front, shields up, hook in onto Lumpy, but he gets moved back. Cannot find that execution there onto the Zenyatta. I'll say, all right, well, whatever. We can't kill your healer. I just kill your tank. Sword falls.
Still no EMP, but they're getting close. EMP can totally open this up. Prevent the Reinhardt shield, take a breather. And when we went to Hollywood, that was how they took the point against a similar composition. It's just hack the Roadhog, prevent him from healing. Earth Shatter to start, no!
That's gonna be Bumper charging in, finds the pin, tries to find it, and they'll just go ahead and shut them out. Shoebill knocked out, Roar dead.
Fire strike
onto the Baby Diva. To go ahead and get a little bit of ult charge back here.
But now they've used a lot of tools here. Earth Shatter to open up. Actually didn't use the Death Blossom, I didn't catch that, so just doing it straight up there with left click means that Stitch still has a lot of tools, just one. But EMP can completely ruin their setup. They need to split. Oh, I love this. Stitch coming in
over the top. Stitch now. Wraith Wall going to be up, so yeah, not going to be hacked out as you say. Death Blossom thrown in. Struck coming down. Helps take him out. Coma following up with the right click. Does finish him off. 85% now here. As Twilight gets jumped on the backside, but Sound Barrier is going to be in for RunAway as they try to keep this fight 100-0, as you say. That's what they're going to be looking for. They want that full hold. They take down Ding. Hawksoul goes so low, but he takes a breather. Then the hook in on the Shoebill to try to pop him out. Will not be successful when the pin comes in. They rip right through that Sound Barrier shield there onto the Diva and rip him apart.
Shatter leading to that one. It's a 99-0 here. No more ultimates on the side of Panthera.
And they keep going forward. Bumper with the Reinhardt shutting them out. Jump away there from Ding at the last second. Helps keep himself alive. Coalescence in from Twilight. Topping them all back up. Roar will fall. And the time buys here for KongDoo. They're fewer and fewer. They can't get it. 100-0 start. RunAway looking for it.
We are so close to deciding our semifinalist here. Our second one and our fourth one. We've already got 3 in the semis. O2 already upsetting against Element Mystic earlier. Can KongDoo Panthera bring it back? They've been outclassed here by composition. Again, struggling to be able to adapt on the fly, just running their same Sombra Tracer. Sticking with what works, and I applaud that consistency. I applaud their ability to, even in the face of adversity, stick with what they have practiced and prepared. But that may also be an Achilles heel for them here because they just are stuck and trapped in this composition. Now it's going to be mirrored comps. Coma has been outclassed by Slime in terms of sound barriers versus EMP. Coxall has had overall better EMP charge than Ding. Now when this is the only comp you're running, KongDoo Panthera fans got to be worried when we're going into the straight up mirror matchup here.
Already not starting off on a high note. Ding unable to get the Mega Pack. Coxall just a bit faster on the push for that. Drops in onto the low ground, hack off. Onto the tanks, they'll drop onto the low ground. Roar getting jumped on. They're trying to finish him off, but haven't been able to get it yet.
Knows how much more he's able to build. Huxel is because he's farming these tanks right now. Way faster EMP control.
Now, that's going to be the point getting unlocked. Decay going low, the spam coming in, but it's not going to be enough. The Rockets go for it. Now Decay and Coma both falling as RunAway look for the initial cap get again. Can they do it back to back? 100-0. We're going to find out as they start off.
All right, they're going to grab this. And unfortunately for KongDoo Panthera, they do not have an EMP to open the point. It is going to be a longer slog here to grab this.
Don't play in traffic there, Stitch.
Some tricky flanks coming through here just to scout if there is any swapping going on. They check this, they see the comp is coming from the right side. Decay does try to also sneak around here and find a flank, but it's not going to happen. They just need to build an EMP here as quickly as possible because they do not want to be down on control meter.
Oh, that's just going to be the shutdown coming through. Coalescence out from Lumpy, interrupted. As Hoxall uses that EMP.
Shutting him down.
Twilight uses his own. Lockdown bumper goes low, but he'll still be able to stay alive. Jumps back 35% now for RunAway. Sound barriers still in the war chest.
RunAway having this really clean setup now where they're just being ult efficient. Shutting down Sombra repeatedly, making it so that Hoxall building better EMPs. Ding still doesn't have his. Missed the Mega earlier. He's been so frustrated this game.
Danu gonna go down. Ding here into the backside.
Got the
Pick
EMP
off there on the Hawksaw. Does have that EMP ready to go, as you say.
A Bumper already primal raged.
Still looking for the opportunity to use it. Bumper trying to get those hits, trying to knock Coma out into traffic. Won't be able to do so in the meantime. Roar will fall. KongDoo, maybe just gonna have to regroup. Try to go for another fight. They're still chasing in onto Coma. Can they kill him? He's got the sound barrier. Would love to hold on to this one.
Ding's got this EMP. He wants to save it if possible, but they're losing so much time here now.
Coalescence in with the sound barrier. EMP tossed out by Ding, but didn't catch that many members. Bumper will still go down. Self-destruct in from Shoeville, not finding any pickoffs, and now Decay's gonna get hacked out as Hawksaw uses his own EMP. But Janu gonna get knocked out of the mech. Coalescence here from Twilight takes down Roar. Pulse Bomb knocks Shoeville out. RunAway trying to hold this one all the way up. 93%, looking for 100.
They need to hold on to this. They have Roar's primal rage. He needs to get on to this point. Needs to get in there.
They're just gonna go down. Self-destruct coming through. Not gonna be finding the pickoffs there. Janu is gonna get back into the mech as Shoeville tries to do the same, spamming away with the pistol. He'll go low, finally gets it available, makes his way back in.
This is their best chance. This is the best chance.
Yet again. Janu knocks out Roar going forward, pops the primal rage.
Ding
has another EMP ready to go. Hawksaw still gonna be at 50%. I'll throw the primal rage of his own, just smacking him around as best as he can, but only finding the more slippery members here on the side of KongDoo. And with that leap out, it seems like RunAway might just surrender this point.
They finally grab this Ding. So patient. Holds the EMP, builds it in the longer fight. They have an ult advantage. They need to be just as efficient, in fact, more efficient than RunAway was in order to bring this to a final map here. Coma outclassed by Slime so far in terms of defensive EMPs, or sorry, sound barriers versus EMPs. Let's see what Hawksaw's able to do. They actually open with theirs. Hawksaw's hacked.
Yeah, Ding tosses it down. That's going to be both supports falling, but RunAway might be somewhat okay with this.
Yeah,
they have so many ultimates to throw forward.
They didn't use anything, so this efficiency continues. Hawksaw gets taken out while building the EMP. All they need is one flip. But Panthera, similarly, not investing anything but the EMP, so very much ult efficient here. As Stitch looks for a backline grab. If he can grab either of these supports, that could just be all they need to go to semifinals. He sneaks around here, is detected. Oh, actually, perhaps not.
Dive in coming through from Roar.
EMP to start.
Primal
Sound
rage
barrier.
EMP's going to be down. Twilight throwing out that coalescence as they look for the fight. Sound barrier's in from RunAway. Roar's going to die. They're looking for the retake. They're looking to finish this one off to punch their ticket to the semifinals here tomorrow. Shoeville out of the mech. Shoeville dead. KongDoo, can they do anything? Well, if he goes low, manages to stay alive. The flip still not there for RunAway. KongDoo just trying to buy as much time as they can. But they will go ahead. They will surrender this one over. They have a couple ults to use to try to buy some time. Primal Rage gonna be a crucial one. Popped early here from Roar. Doesn't want to get taken down before he could use it. Decay into the back. Still has that pulse bomb. Does not use it yet.
Such good control here of this point from KongDoo Panthera, but they need to get kills to get the flip. Ding's so close to EMP.
Going down, they're looking for Bumper. He doesn't have the primal rage. The self-destruct finds Roar. RunAway, trying to take this. Shoeville, he's gonna go down. EMP's out, but Ding is so low. He'll get finished off and RunAway. I think they might just be able to do it to close this one out. Coma goes down and plummets. RunAway taking a 2-0 on Oasis. They're going to the semifinals tomorrow. KongDoo, they got so damn close, but in the end, they just cannot do it.
RunAway, another cheering moment here in the booth. They're not in the finals yet, but it was a closer series than anyone could have anticipated. And in the fifth map, they come up big, showing flexibility, something that KongDoo Panthera was not willing to run. Even Stitch, rarely emotional here, getting caught up in the excitement as Flowerbin runs in. Runner is here in the studio. I know he's hiding backstage. He's not allowed, of course, to show himself on camera because of the military rules, but I know he's backstage, happy and hyped. And they do it. They punch the card to the semifinals. And for KongDoo Panthera, it's been a rough night. Decay, inconsistent all season until week 5, where he was able to blow up. Same was true, of course, of their match tonight. Looking great. I think the saddest person in the booth for KongDoo Panthera is definitely going to be Coma. He was outclassed by Luffy, Luffy having much better support ultimates than he did. He was unable to shut down the EMPs of Hawksaw, and he's lost now to his former team. He was the sub of RunAway. He sat on the bench throughout the entire Season 2 finals, and now his team loses again, beaten by the hand of his former teammates. And now RunAway gets a massive cheer from the crowd. They do take the semifinals, and with Ella Mystic removed here with an upset win with the choke, This team looks to be the favorites to win their first Korean title. They have not taken a single one despite making 2 Apex finals. They are big favorites now of the top 4.
What a season here, RunAway. One of the most beloved teams in Overwatch history. Globally, not just in Korea, globally, jacket's back on. We're done, we're good to go.
Name tag
They managed to make it into the semifinals tomorrow. Not much prep time. These guys are basically running a gauntlet to make it into the grand final. There was some shakiness, obviously control, initially at least, something that maybe needs to be worked on tonight here from RunAway, but the Pick a Blizzard World kind of blindsiding KongDoo Panthera, getting that push all the way in overtime, almost a point C. Just beautiful stuff from them, and then they follow up with a full hold on Junkertown. I'll ignore Hanamura because it was...
They just they did have really great Junkrat play, but you can't use that on every map. They were not able to step up with the Sombra Tracer to hit the mark when they needed to. This is going to be the sad Hanamura you were just talking about. Toxel grabs this one kill, but they're not able to get his finish here on B. And we are going to watch, of course, the rest of the highlights here, but I do want to talk mostly about KongDoo Panthera. They did improve from week to week. They came in as 4th seed versus 1, but unfortunately they had too many new members on their team. It took a long time for them to gel together. I think going into Season 2, they're going to have a much better opportunity to use the talent they now have, develop it, work on hero pools, and make sure that Youngjin is ready to be a DPS sub that they so desperately need. They do not have a Genji player. They do not have McCree or Widow who really has a capability for Decay. That's part of the reason why they struggle, especially here on Junkertown. The lack of hero pool means that KongDoo Panthera is essentially worthless on this map because they don't have a Genji. They're playing an inferior Widow. Decay is not play Widow. He has to flex onto it. Attack Junkrat here, it's just going to be inferior to the Genji.
I mean, honestly, I think that in the latter half here, probably one of the more underperforming members of the squad might have been Hawksall, especially on Junkertown, even though they were able to get the win. The Genji not looking nearly as clean as we're used to seeing from him, but in the end, gets the win. Stitch on Junkertown was the big story. He was the one popping off. He was taking heads left and right.
Stitch flexibility was the name of the game for Stitch. I mean, he's played so many different heroes. He was a Tracer one-trick for so many seasons of Apex. Now he's Reaper, he's McCree, he's Soldier, he's
Tracer still.
Tracer as well. I mean, this guy plays everything. He's such an important flex for this squad. And him versus Decay, if you do the direct comparison, it's like 5 heroes versus 1. And when you're playing a 5-map series, when it goes the distance, you need to have that flexibility. In KongDoo Panthera, they upped the DPS level of play, but they did not up the flexibility.
Nope. Ding, on the other hand, great re-addition to the roster, but I hear that music. It's time for our MVP interview, and it will be with Stitch. Pick the shyest one out of the bunch. So let's go ahead and dive into that.
Let's see what he says. So, our MVP is Stitch. Hello, hello. So, introduce yourself. I am the DPS player from RunAway, Stitch. You've seen a lot of strong teams like Seven, Ellen Mystic. And so you've actually kept calm throughout these tough matches. How do you stay calm? We just kind of got together and told each other, let's just do this like practice, do it like usual. So how do you feel? Because you're going to the semis now. I'm actually a little bit shaken, honestly, about the series. But I'm actually really happy. It's his birthday, of course. So you're getting better than your last interview. So you chose the first Blizzard World map of the tournament. Any reason for this? He was like, well, can I say it was... Are you hiding from something? Well, the map hasn't been out for very long. And we've actually practiced a lot with it in ranked mode. So basically the Junkrat has been a big threatening the Ding Junkrats. How'd you deal with it? I didn't actually hear his answer. So basically saying they didn't actually know how to deal with our dive. I think is what he said. I actually had an audio issue there for a second. So it was a very close series and went all the way to Game 5. Again, how did you manage to keep calm with your
우리가 더
teammates?
잘한다.
We're just saying we're great, we're gonna win, we're better,
네,
we're better,
다시 한번
we're better than
축하드립니다.
them.
또 이제 4강을 진출하면서
We're
X6 게이밍과
stronger
만나게
players.
됐는데요. 평상시에 그 팀은 어떻게 생각하시나요?
So you're gonna face off against X6. How do you feel about this opponent going into the semifinals?
이제 슬슬
I
입술이
think they're
떨리시는
very
것
strong.
같은데 마무리를 할게요. 네, 제가 죄송합니다. 마지막으로 각오 한마디 부탁드릴게요.
So any other words to the fans about the
열심히
semis?
해서 꼭 우승까지.
We're just gonna work hard and make sure we go to the finals for sure.
네, 이제 많은 팬분들이 함께 하셨는데 드디어 기다리고 기다리던 스티치 선수의 친필 사인이 그려진
So
오버워치 K
there's a lot of people who really want Stitch's signed band shirt here.
Yeah,
So who's gonna get it?
I would just, you know what, at that point, just throw it.
네, 오늘
Just let them fight over it, like jump in the waters.
더욱 고민이 많이 될 것 같은데요. 과연?
All right, who's gonna get
Like,
it?
oh God, I don't know.
Front row ticket holder, she gets it.
Okay, like I guess I'll give it to you.
He's like, wait, you want this? Anyone else want it? No, I got it.
Well, man, what a day it has been, Wolf. 2
10
insane
games.
series, 10 games going all the way to the end, having to play that extra round of control. RunAway not going to get upset in the end, but KongDoo Panthera is still looking damn good here. But, I mean, the first one was just insanity. Element Mystic getting taken down by O2 Ardiant. Whew.
Yeah, it's been nearly 2 upsets we had. It's been a really competitive round of 8. We only had one one-sided series with X6, of course, taking that one with a 3-0.